Hi everybody, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. It's so great to be here. I hope y'all are doing well. I know it's been a few weeks since I have been here, so I'm going to give it just a few minutes before we really get started, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about this month's kit. So we are going to start playing with the February paper pumpkin kit, which is Celebrate Spring, and it's really a beautiful kit if you like springtime, and it's very light on this picture, so it's hard to see really well, but we are going to put together the cards this week. So not necessarily a full unboxing, because I'm going to try and cut some time out so we can also do some alternates. So hey Wanda, thanks for joining. Oh, it's snowy there still. Oh I'm sorry. I'm sure you're ready. I'm sure you're ready for spring if you're playing with this kit. Hopefully you got yours by now. And we are also in the subscription period for Fluttering Garden, which is a beautiful kit. And the ink spot for this kit is going to be basic gray. But March is a fun month because it is the Paper Pumpkin birthday. And so on the birthday month, we get an extra stamp set. So there's always an exclusive stamp set in every one of the Paper Pumpkins, but in March there's going to be 2. So I'm really excited to see what that's all about. And it's hummingbirds and all these beautiful watercolor prints. So that's really fun. I also wanted to mention to you about a join special that we have going on, which is pretty exciting because we have not had a positioning tool for quite some time. As many of you know, we had a Stamparatus, but due to some regulatory issues that came up, basically we could not continue to have that product, and so Stampin' Up has come up with an additional Stampin' Positioner tool, and when you join now you can get that positioner tool. I do have mine, but it is still in the box, so I haven't played with it yet. And so hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get a chance to kind of play with that, and I'll share it here with all of you. But as a person that joins, you can get the tool right now. It isn't available for sale at this point. So that is one thing that I wanted to share. And then also the we have the product of the month, and this month, which starts today, is a stamp set called Notes of Spring, and it has some really beautiful lined images of some little animals, so a deer, a duck, a bunny, and some leafy elements, and some cute little sayings that are especially for you, a little note of thanks, and happiest birthday wishes. So great, all the way year round sentiments. And when you spend $75, you can get that stamp set for $5. So very fun things for right now. And let's go ahead and go down to the table really quick, and then we will begin to get started. I want to show you some gorgeous coordinating products. So I don't know if you've seen this or not, but this is a suite in the catalog that is really, really precious. And basically it is, got too many things on my table here. I don't know what gotta get rid of some of these. It is a lot of fun, and I can't wait to show you. I want to get this kind of fixed up. There we go. So when you are playing around and looking at the catalog, this is one of the suites that came out in the January to April catalog, and it is adorable. Those cute little bunnies on here are just so sweet. And these sentiments are so cute, but I want to show you, and I guess this is my first time like showing also. Hey Cheryl, thanks for jumping in. This is the new packaging, which I know is probably a controversial subject with many, but I kind of like it. So we have a lot of, I think, options here because we have less space taken up. But this is how it comes. And so you have the ability to see all your die cut images right here on the front, which I love. We did not have that before. And these are the dies themselves. And as you can see, they are much bigger than on here. And I'm normally it says like what size they are, but as you can see, like that's a really big basket, right? And look at this cute little scallop edge and all the bunny images, some grass, some little stripes here. I think you could make a little fence with that or do some weaving kind of a thing. And then we have a beautiful little daffodil here as well. And what else do we have? Oh, a little chick right here. These little flowers and a carrot. All these have little die cuts to go with them. So how fun is that? Okay. And then look at this paper. This paper is different. It's very thick. It's thicker than normal. And I don't know if you can tell by just hearing that. I do too, Cheryl. The new packaging, I think it's great. But it's got a little bit of a foil on one side and then more of just like a flat color on the other side. And there are some really pretty papers in here. If you haven't seen this yet, I like this one. This reminds me of the little fleur-de-lis. And I think this is really cool. So this sheet is one that you can use just to do like a quick card front, right? I mean, so cute. And then there is one more with eggs. I haven't shown you the back. This is kind of like a basket weave. On the back of here, you have like checkers and flowers. And on the back of this one, you have, look at that little pale blue bunnies and baskets and eggs. So precious. And this is really beautiful in the shy shamrock, the little flowers. And let's see, we have the stripe left. That same little kind of florally images there in crumb cake. And so that is the paper that coordinates also with this month's kit. So I am excited to bring that in. It is called Easter Joy. And the Stamp and Die bundle is Easter basket and Easter basket dies. And so let's see here real quick. And then we're going to jump in. So there's the stamps that go with it. So really, really fun stuff for this month. So I know I haven't been here in a couple of weeks, but I'm excited to be here today. And I have kind of my plan is for us to put the cards together like we normally do in our unboxing, but I'm trying to cut that down a bit. So I've already got everything pulled out, but for anybody watching that is new or watching the replay, with a paper pumpkin kit, you get a full color instructions, and you get, in this kit, you're going to get materials to make 9 cards, and everything you need is inside the kit. So let's go ahead and look at what we got. So we have a really beautiful card base in the Shy Shamrock. And then here's one that I think this is just like a few generations lighter than the Lemon Lolly. And then we have this one that is also a paler, lighter generations of the Balmy Blue with these adorable little flowers on here. We have this layering piece there for you to see. And then we have this sheet of die cuts. And so all these pop out. And all of these are really fun. You have a beautiful wreath here with a bunch of little flowers happening. So I'm just going to pop all these out really quick. And then we'll get all of our pieces situated. But look at this cute basket. I've been wondering if this is the same size as the die cut in the bundle. You know what? I'm going to just check and see if I can tell that. Where did I put my... There they are. It's like, is this the same size? It is not the exact same basket, but generally it's about the same size. That is awesome. We could totally replace that with that one if you wanted to, with the alternates. Cute eggs, flowers, and we got a little bunny here. So cute. I am loving all the colors in this kit. Then we also have a sentiment sheet for stamping sentiments for the card layers. A few more greenery pieces. And I'm going to leave the eggs in there because we do stamp on those, is my guess. But I'm going to leave them in just in case so that we have an easy way to stamp. So let's go ahead. Oh, I want to also show you the stamp set that comes in the kit. Isn't that beautiful? I love this big greeting, sweet spring greetings, the little grass, cute eggs. So fun. Happy Easter and hello friend. So we have that, and then we have our adhesive. So we have glue dots, which we haven't had in a while, but we have some glue dots, and we have some mini dimensionals and some sequins with adhesive backed. Okay, and so let's go ahead and get into it. And we'll see how far we get. My goal is to get quite a way. So, all right. So we are going to start out with this lemon lolly back and this piece here. All right. We're going to need the wreath, the bunny. Looks like we're going to need that one of those eggs. And we're going to have this banner. All right. So I'm going to set these over here. We don't need these little guys. We don't need that. I don't think we need any of these other items. So I'm going to go ahead and move them out of the way. As well as our basket. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and fold our card base here and burnish that. And then we have some stamping to do. And I found my mat. I think for weeks I have not had my little mat. And we're going to have Happy Easter. And we're going to need one of the eggs, and looks like they're using the one with the dots on it. And oh, there is some twine that came in the kit. And what did I do with it? I had moved it aside earlier. Here, we have some pretty and pink twine as well that we're going to need here. And it looks like it wants us to have 7 inches of twine, which is right here. And so I'm just going to cut that real quick. And we can get started. All right, so let's go ahead and get my little block here. In your first paper pumpkin, you always get a block that comes in your first paper pumpkin, and you're meant to hang on to that and use it over and over each month. Now, we sell these nicer, thicker blocks that have this little ridge for you to hold on to, and so I like to bring those in. But this is the kind of block you get with your kit. And so it's nice to have a little bit of different options. So let's go ahead. I like to test my stamps. So let me grab the sheet because I won't need it anymore. Where is it? Oh, I guess I was using this one. All right, let me just grab this sheet here to do a little testing on here and make sure we're getting a good image. There we go. Looks pretty good. This is one thing, like a stamp positioner tool just really helps out, because if you want to get like a little bit of a deeper color, you can just keep going, like lift it up, ink up, put it back down. It just really helps you get a darker image. But there we have it. Happy Easter. Perfect. Now let's do our egg here. And there we go. Great. So this is where I was like, I'm going to leave it in here so we have a little bit of stability in when we're stamping. So I'm going to get my head in here. So I apologize if that gets in the way, but I think I got that lined up. Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad. So there we have our egg right there that we're going to need. And I'm going to put the other one aside. Okay, and get our mat out of the way. And let's go ahead and put our card together. So we're going to need glue dots on that, dimensionals here, and here, and glue dots on the back of here. So to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and use my stamp seal. I don't use it very often, but for this, it does help save some time from putting on all the glue dots. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it across here. And then we're going to get our dimensionals out and go ahead and place those on. And so they got one on each of the ears and 2 on the face, like so. And then we have them going around the wreath. And pretty good amount going on here. It helps certainly to keep it more stable as we put things together. And then we need, it says 2 on here. I don't think we need 2, but we'll follow that. All right, so make sure our card is opening in the right direction. And we're going to go ahead and place this piece right down on top like that. All right. And then we are going to go ahead and add our wreath first. So just pressing all of my dimensionals down. Hello, Miss Michelle. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I think they're pretty cute too. It's a fun kit for Easter for sure, but for spring too. All right, so this goes on here just like so, and there we have that. Then we're going to add our, first it has us putting our little egg on, but to be honest, I want to do it after I put the bunny on so that I get it placed right, because the bunny is going to be holding that egg, okay? And so he's just going right here in the center with his little ears kind of popping over the edge there, okay? And then now we're going to add the little egg on, and it's going to go right under his hand. And you know what? Because I don't like, I really just want to tighten this up. We don't have to have all that extra color around it, so we can change it ourselves. All right, so now all we see is the egg. All right, so that little guy is going to go right there. All right, and then we're going to add our banner on top here, just like so, just like that. Okay. And then the last thing we have is to add our little bow, which is going to go on our bunny. Okay. And so I like to tie my bow like this and then get it how I want it. And then tighten it up. Okay. Some people make the bunny ears to tie their bow. I just have never ever really gotten good at that. And then I'm going to use one of the glue dots that they gave us right here. Put it right on the back of our little pink bow right here. And then like using my scissors to place it, but it's going to go right here on our little bunny. And then we are going to put a few of these embellishments. So we have some clearer kind of iridescent ones, and then we have these that are what I would say are a little bit of a peach pie. And it looks like we're just going to put we're putting both shades on here. So I got the clear and the peach pie there, and I'm looking to see where they placed the other ones. So looks like some peach pie is going right here and right here. And then where else? We got one more, I think. I got one more. Where is it? It's hiding. Oh my. It really is hiding. Well, we're just going to go with it. So it is a clear one, and so we're just going to add it in right over here. And so that's our first card. Is that adorable or what? So cute. Now we have that other sentiment, the sweet spring greetings that we could put on the inside and all that kind of thing. But I mean, this is just too cute. I can't tell you. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And we have this back card base right here. This is a gorgeous card base. I don't know if you can see all the colors around there. I hate using the little dots. I do too, Cheryl. I'm not good with them, but you know, I try to use the kit. So we have here pretty easy stuff happening. We have the sentiment, and we have some of the flowers. So we have 3 of the pink flowers right here, and then the greenery pieces are right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. I think it's kind of funny because they actually show 4 of them here, and there are not 4 in the kit. So it's kind of funny to me, but we can make do. We're good. And we have the 3 flowers and the 3 greenery pieces. And all of this, except this one, are getting glue dots. But we are going to stamp on here with that big, beautiful greeting of sweet spring greetings. So let me get that off of here and get my block for it. So like that. And I like to rub on this the first time, get any of that residue from the mold off. Like that. Okay. And let's ink it up and give it a test. So how's everybody doing? What have y'all been up to the last few weeks? I feel like it's been so long. What's happening in your world? Because I went on a scrapbooking retreat last weekend and had such a lovely time with friends. And I think I shared in my group that I made some like card maps or sketches. I've been wanting to make them for a long time, and I finally made them. I love it. Perfect. That looks so good. So that is going to get dimensionals on it. So let's go ahead and put those on here. And then we're going to use our glue for the other ones because, again, I'm going to move away from using those glue dots. They're persnickety, and I think I do better with the glue. I could use the running tape runner, but I would prefer not to on these little pieces. So we're going to use our glue. All right, so we're going to add just a little tab of glue, and I'm going to stick this right on here like so. And then this little guy is going to go below there, like right there. Okay. Then we're going to add another flower right down here. And this little green piece is going to tuck in below there, like that. Put that in right there. And then this little guy is going to go up here, but where am I going to put my flower? So I may also stick my flower under there. I think I got that one just a little bit too high, but let's put this on first. So I'm going to move it over just a tad. And then we're going to stick this one right here like that. There we go. And that's the placement we got. Oh, you are busy, ma'am, prepping for your graduate class. Oh, you made some Easter eggs. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to see those. All right, so we just need to add some of our lovely adhesive back sequins on here. So we got some peach pie sequin. We're going to add one right there. And then we're going to add another one right down here. And you know what? They made their card this way and I made mine this way. I don't think it matters, but I think this is my preferred type of card. And I just realized that I didn't follow suit. Oh, well, that's what you get from me. I get to do all the things different. All right, then we have one of these coming in down here. And we got one that's going to go right up here. And well, that's it. That is it. All right, so that is that card. Actually, I like mine better. Haha. All right, so we have one more, and then we're going to get to some alternates. So how are we doing, everybody? Has anybody else made Easter eggs? Oh my goodness. I don't know. I love a deviled egg, so I'm ready. We are going to stamp this other egg. I'm going to bring it down here so I can see it better. Maybe I can get it on there better. Let's see here. Let's see. Hopefully that's better. Oh, that's much better. All right, so we got that. What else am I stamping here? We're going to use the Hello Friend. You like the portrait stock cards better as well? Me too, Wanda. We are rebels for sure. Yes. Doing our own thing is the way to go, that's for sure. What do I do with my piece? Oh, here we go. All right, so let's just test this little Hello Friend out. There we go, love it. And then we have a little tag that this is going to go on. And just like that. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we have that, and we are going to be using this card base, and we are going to stamp on here the grass. So let me get that out. And I think, oh, perfect. So I like this grass. It's a nice size. It's not too small. Sometimes when they give us images of grass, it's very tiny. I like this. It's kind of big and bushy. Perfect. All right. So we're going to do some stamping on here. And we're going to have some going right. I guess it's going a little bit lower here. There we go. And then we'll put some on this other side, like over here. And then we'll put some below that in the middle. Right here, like that. All right. So now Now, oh, I guess I was supposed to stamp my egg with the other stamp. Oh well, not to be concerned. I'm always doing my own thing, so you guys are used to that for sure. All right, we need the basket, and we have our bunch of eggs here, and our little baby egg, and we have our sentiment, which let me get this hole popped out because we're going to need some twine. And it says 10 inches for this. Okay. And I am thinking that rather than sticking that down, that we will just tie that little tag right to the basket and go that route instead. So we're just gonna tie this right onto here. You saw the cutest picture of deviled eggs. Oh, all right. I love it. I can't wait to see that, Wanda. I actually I've been making the deviled eggs for our family stuff lately, and I'm pretty much like the regular routine kind of deviled egg, but I like to put honey bacon on the top of mine. So yummy. Oh, that looks cute. That's what we're gonna have there. Look at that cute little bow. All right, so we have that, and then we have the flowers. Got to get our flower pieces here, and we have all that. All right, so let's see how this is gonna go. I think we should put our basket on first, since it's gonna get dimensionals, and then we can tuck all these other things in. Because the only other thing that has a dimensional is the egg that we stamped. And so let's see here. We are going to just put some dimensionals around the handle of the basket and then around the edge. Let's just think that's how that's going to go. Okay, it fits. It fits. All right, so let me just press these down, and then we will jump in. I hate covering up all the cute. I know. Those printed flowers on the card base are darling. And so you will see I loved them too, because when we get to our alternates, I actually use them. So stay tuned. We're getting there. All right, so we are going to just bring this up a tad here, and there we go. And then we're going to, let's see, we're going to add one of these little flowers down at the bottom of here. It's just going to tuck right in there. And then another one is going to go on top of our basket right here, like that. All right, and then we're going to tuck our eggs in there, like that. So let me just get a little bit of glue down here so that when we get it tucked in, go. Just press on that there. Okay, perfect. All right, then this little egg is going to get dimensional on it. And he's going to get tucked in right on top of this green egg, which is kind of silly, I think, but okay. All right, then we are going to add this beautiful flower right on here, like that. And we have 2 more here. All right, so we're going to put a little glue on here, and this is going to get tucked right there. And then I'm going to add my glue right here on this basket, and we're going to add that flower right there. And that's what we have. We're going to add some of our sequin. Oh, this one doesn't have any sequin. All right, well, that's what we got. And I like it better with my tag just kind of flapping around. I love it. I love it when y'all agree with me and I say silly stuff. Thanks, Melanie. I know, I thought about that too. Just letting it lay down here in the grass, that extra egg, that would be so cute, I think. But we got it. All right, so those are the 3 cards that the kit was intended to make, and they're gorgeous. And if you just want to, if you get this kit and you just want to make the cards the way that they're designed, they're beautiful. And I say go for it. But as you know, I like to create other things. And so I have some fun things that I already got planned. So let's dig in. So we are going to start with this card base and those items. And I'm going to get my trimmer out. And I am going to cut our envelope. I'm using my envelope for the inside of the card. I just, I see no reason to waste the beautiful flap on this envelope when we can use it for other things. Boy, I got that really thin. It was so thin, it fell right down in the crack of the trimmer. And so I'm going to just cut this off here, and then we're going to trim off 3 3¼ for the inside of the card. Okay, and then I'm going to, so it's 3¼ let's see, that's an inch, so I want 4½ inches. So let me just take off 1/2 inch on this side to get that edge off of there. See, that little piece is free now. And now we'll just trim this down to 4½ Okay. And again, we'll have that little piece. And then we're going to trim this right down the center. And then I'll have inside for 2 cards. All right, so we got that. All right, then we're going to trim this card base, and I'm going to trim this down to 3½ by 5 inches. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this to 3½ right here. And I am taking off, actually I'm going to do 3 3/8 right here so that I get that way. And then I'm going to flip it around and do 3½ or Is that right? Oh, 3¼ That's what. Okay. I'm just taking a little bitty sliver off the other side. Okay. And that still left all the beautiful images there. All right, so we got that piece, and then this is to be trimmed to 5. So I'm going to take off 1/4 inch at the top and the bottom so that it is even, still equally spaced. All right, so we have that, and then I already trimmed for myself from an envelope flap that I already cut up previously. This is, I believe it's 5/8 inch. Yeah, 5/8 inch by, or no, 3/4 inch by 3½ inches. Okay. And then I have a piece of envelope also that same size. All right. For writing, for stamping a sentiment. Okay. And those are the pieces we're going to use in our card. Here. Now I have a card base of Shy Shamrock, and it is 4¼ by 11, scored at 5½ inches. Okay. And we are going to put this in this direction, right up against the edge of the card, like that. Okay. And then we're going to use this to stamp our sentiment on. And then this is going to go down here, just like that. All right. And we are going to add some of these flowers on here, as well as adding in our eggs on here in this corner, like so. Just like that, basically. Okay. And then we'll add some of the sequin. Okay. And then we'll use this on another card, but this is where we're starting. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to trim this and use it on the inside of the card. So if I remember, this is 4½. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this off right here. And I'm going to take 1/2 inch on this side and 1/2 inch on the other side. And we're going to use it on the inside of the card. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and put this together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on here like that. Actually, I think I'll put it on this side. Is that right? It's like this. Yeah. We can always flip it around if we decide, but I think this is the direction I want because it matches. It's going to go that way. And then this will get placed on the inside of our card here. And of course, if you want to stamp something in here, you can. You know, you could add an egg for sure, or a sentiment. Okay, so we're going to add this to the card front right on that left edge, flush with that edge, with centered on the page front, or the card front. Okay, just like that. Okay. All right. All right, then we are going to figure out our placement because we're going to have these just there. All right, so let me just add that on here like that. Just like that. Okay. All right, then this is going to go right there, and we're going to add this with dimensionals. So I am going to kind of zigzag these in a sense. And then it's going to go flush with the bottom of the eggs that we just placed so that those eggs are grounded, okay? And it's coming off the side here like so. So we still have the design coming out the bottom, okay? But the eggs are sort of like inside there, okay? And then we're going to stamp on here with the Happy Easter. Here we go. Okay. Just right there. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little glue on this, and we're going to lay it just a little off the edge there. Okay, so just like that. All right. And then we have a flower. I think I'm going to add a flower over here on this edge, like so. And then I'm going to add one more up here. On this corner. And then we'll add a couple of these sequin. So I like the size of these flowers because the sequin can be like the center of the flower. And I'm using the clear ones. And then I'm going to add one more right down here on the side. And I think that's it. That's our first little alternate right here. Okay. And like I said, you could add other things if you wanted. Like you could stamp some of the eggs and layer them up behind here if you wanted. I'm not going to add any more to that, but I just love how this came out. Great, easy little card. All right, so that's first alternate. Now I have a couple others that I'm going to do, and hopefully I am not losing any of my pieces. So this one is for bringing in some of that fun DSP from the kit, from the coordinating kit. But this is the inside of our card, and I was going to go ahead and stamp a couple of these little eggs, and let's see here if I can grab another little block. There we go. All right, let's just do a quick test on this one. Wanted to put some of these on the inside here. So perfect. All right, so we are going to, and I'm gonna bring this in here. So let me just do that one more time. I don't think I got a good one. All right, so we're just going to have these going kind of edge to edge. All right. So we're gonna now turn this one this way. And then this one is going to kind of be straight up and down. And this one is going to be kind of off right here. Okay. And then we'll have this one going off the page like that. So that's what we end up with on the inside. And I'm going to add this big sweet spring greetings to this as well, right at the top, like that. Okay. So this is going to get put onto here like that. And that's going to go on the inside. And the card base that I am using on this alternate is a basic beige card base. Again, 4 1/4 by 11. And it is scored at 5 1/2. Okay. Now this piece on the inside, I have the Shy Shamrock pieces 3 1/2 by 4. Is that right? Yeah, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And the white piece is 3 inches by 4 inches. Okay. And that is the piece that's going to go inside. Of here. So like that. So you have still a place to write a little greeting, little hello. And then we are going to add these. Now, each one of these are 1 inch by, these are 1 inch by 4 1/2 inches strips, okay? And you can see the pattern that these two look very much alike, but they're at different stages of the pattern, right? And then I had to cut another one because you cannot get 3 4 1/2 cuts out of a 12-inch piece. So we are going to put that one in the middle and then have the other two on the end. And I mean, they're going to get covered up to a degree, but just kind of explaining how I cut mine. So we're going to start here putting this one on, and I'm making this, it's about 1/4 of an inch. If I'm using my grid paper right here, it's about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And then I'm going to do this one as well the same way. Okay. And then we will center them. So it's going about right there. Okay. I'm just using my grid paper to kind of line them up. Oh, yeah. Yum. Y'all are making me want to have a deviled egg right now. That's for sure. Awesome. All right, now I am just centering this one between the two. All right, just like that. All right, now I have this piece here. Again, this is a Shy Shamrock, and it is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm putting that right in the center on here. Oh, it's getting warm in my room. Oh, Wanda, you're already sharing. Yep. Oh, you put cayenne pepper. Oh, I bet that's good. Yeah, I think mine is just mayonnaise and I think a little bit of mustard, and I guess I don't typically put it in, but I know sometimes people would put pickle relish in it. But my favorite thing is to put the bacon on top. So delicious. Oh, wow. Y'all are busy canning salsa and everything. Oh, I love it. I love it, Melanie. All right. We are going to add our little basket here with some dimensionals. So let's do that. And kind of going in the same drill. I'm just not putting as many. I don't feel like we need all that. So we're going to add this to our base. Oh, it's a fumble with all these covers on the dimensionals. I'm spilling them all over the place. And kind of annoying to me. All right, there we have it. And I am just making sure that the area that's open in the basket is fully green. Okay, fully with the Shy Shamrock, all right? Like that. All right, I guess I wish this wasn't as big, but it is. All right, now this little guy is going to tuck right in here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the bottom of here. And I'm going to add a couple of dimensionals here for him, because the ears are going to be supported by that basket. All right, so I'm just putting him kind of off to the side. There we go. All right, just like that. And then we're going to have a little flower here that we're going to add just to bring in a little bit of color on here. And then we're going to stamp again our little tag and add it to the handle. Well, those little holes, they don't want to pop out sometimes. All right, so we are going to have that little hello friend again. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to add that right here. Perfect. All right, so then we need a little bit of our linen thread, or our baker's twine, the pink, pretty in pink baker's twine, and we're going to thread it through our little tag here and around our little basket handle. And then we have this little thing to tie on. like so. I'll just do a little trimming here, like that. And then we will add a couple of the little sequin, right, around. Put one there, and then one more. I'm just going to add one right in here. And there we go. So that is our second little alternate. Is that so cute? I love it. All right. Now I have one more, and I'm so glad I kind of rushed through the unboxing because I'm not too far gone, and I think this will go pretty quick, but I wanted to show you what I was thinking about with that blue card front, right? It's so cute. And this is what I came up with. So we have inside the card, I have a little bit of lemon lolly. All right, and it is 3 inches by 4.5 inches. And then I did use a little bit of an envelope to cut. This is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to just add these together. And again, like the other card, I won't take the time right now, but like the other one, you could stamp some eggs, put a sentiment, leave it blank, whatever you decide. There's a bit of some kind of glitter on my card base. But this is going to be the inside, like so. All right. We are going to stamp on here, Happy Easter. So let me get that. Just, whoops, it's upside down. All right, so we're going to stamp right here, Happy Easter. We may trim that down, just not sure. But this is what I was doing with that blue card front. So I just think those flowers are precious. So I have another piece of lemon lolly that is 4 1/4 by 2 inches. Okay. And this is just going to go right here on top. All right. This is a super simple card, y'all. And I love bringing y'all super simple because who doesn't love super simple? Right? All right. So here we got this. And I said this is going to be quick because it is. All right. But look what I did. I trimmed out these flowers. Okay. And I think these are 1 3/4 deep. Oh, no, it is 1 7/8. All right. And then I have 2 pieces for 1 inch. And then the middle one is about 1 1/16 of an inch. I took what I needed to get the flowers in the cut. Do you see? So it's whatever is there. This worked out to be just 1 inch. And so we're going to put these on here like so. And then this one's going to go right in the middle. All right. And I could put these on with dimensionals. I think what I might do is just put the middle one on with dimensionals and glue these ones on the end down. Trying to get this centered there. Okay. And then this one Or I could just put them all down with glue and pop up this sentiment. That's what I'm going to do. They're all going to go down with glue. All right, so that's going to go right there. And my card base is Balmy Blue. And I already had this one created. So it's 5.5 by 4.25, scored at, or I'm sorry, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. That's why we have that out here. All right, so that's that. Just so cute. All right, then we have our little Happy Easter. And so what I want to do is I wanted to create like a little banner with this. So I'm just going to snip in here in the center. And I need my glasses, y'all. This is where it gets tough. I got to be able to see good. Okay, so I'm just cutting from corner to the tip of that cut. And then we'll do the same thing on the other end. But after being gone the last several weeks, I just wanted to catch up on what you would have normally received on a Sunday. You know, last week we would have done the unboxing, and this week I would have had alternates, but I wanted to do all of that today. And so we have this. Now, I just have one last thing that I want to do. So this is going to go right down here like that. All right. And then I know that the kit came with the pink baker's twine, but I would rather use white on this. So I'm going to I have just this little bit left on here. So I'm going to trim off some white, and we're going to do kind of a bigger floppy-ish bow here, right? And let's see if we can get this evened out. Okay. Oh, these are not the ribbon scissors. All right, so now I am going to use some of those little glue dots for this. So I'm going to lay that down, take off one of these, put it on here, peel off that top, flip it back. All right, now I'm going to just tuck this in right under here, like so. All right, so there we have our little bow on there and this little adorable card. Let's just add a couple of these little guys on here. So I'll put one on this yellow guy, put one here, and I'll add one more to this one. And there you have it. Isn't that so cute and simple? And you get to see all those cute flowers, which I love. So let me get these out of the way. All right. And so we made the cards from the kit. So cute, right? And then we made 3 alternates. So we got this one and that one and that one. So yay! Oh, thanks for joining, everybody. If you are watching the replay and you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or if you're on Facebook and you're not already a part of the Paper Pumpkin and Kit Hangout, I'd love for you to come and join us. In the link in the description, you can also sign up for my newsletter, and I'd love to have you on that as well. So thank you so much for joining, and this was a lot of fun. I will see you next week with some more alternates with this kit. Um, have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.